Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Ramont. In this video I'm going to show you guys how to draft this overburst corset blouse. So if something that you're interested in, you need to definitely keep on watching. So let's move right into it. From the edge of my pattern, I'm going to come down by 10 inches for the bust line, 13.5 for the underbust line, 17.5 for the waistline. After that, I'm going to rule out a vertical line. After I'm done rule out the lines, I'm going to come down from the waistline by 9 inches, that is distance between your waist to the hip line, and also rule out a vertical line there. So the next thing to do is to label your pattern, my bust line, underbust line, waistline, and also the hip line. So on the shoulder line there, I'm going to divide my shoulder measurement by 2 inches. My shoulder is 15 divided by 2, which is 7.5. From there, I'm coming down by 1 inch for the shoulder slope. I also mark my neck width, which is 3.5. So I connect it to the shoulder slope. From there, I'm going to come down by 7.5 inches. To calculate your armhole line, you need to divide your bust measurement by 6 inches plus 1.5 inches. My bust is 36 divided by 6, which is 6 plus 1.5 inches, making it 7.5. So I rule out a straight line there, which is going to be my chest line. So from there, I take in my shoulder measurements down to the chest line and connect it to the shoulder slope. After that, I'm going to find the midpoint on the armhole line and come in by 0.75. After I'm done marking in 0.75 on the chest line, I'm going to take in my bust measurement. My bust is 36 divided by 4, which is 9 inches. So after I'm done marking it, I will now cuff out my armhole cuff. From the shoulder line on the center front, I'm going to come by 3.5 inches. It's a basic neckline, but that is not the neckline we are going for. So I also label my chest line. So from there on the bust line, I'm going to come in by 3.5. That is the distance between the nipple to nipple. Mine is 7 inches divided by 2, which is 3.5. Placing my mark. For the waist dart, I'm using 1.5 inches, so I'm going to divide it on both sides, which is 0.75 on both sides. So from the bust line there, I'm going to come now by 1 inches, and on the hip line come up by 2 inches and connect the point together. After I'm done connecting the point together, I will now take in my waist measurement. My waist is 32 divided by 4, which is 8 inches plus 1.5 inches for the dart. Come down to the hip line. Also taking my hip measurement. My hip is 42 divided by 4, which is 10.5. We see my mark and connect it together. After that, I will come up on underbust line and take in my round underbust circumference. My round underbust circumference is 29 divided by 4, which is 7.25. I'll mark it. So what remains there, I'm going to use it to tighten my underbust, which is 2 inches. So I take that 2 inches, divided it on both sides, and connect it to the waist. After that, I'm going to use my hip cuff to cuff out my bustier. After I'm just cuff out my bustier, on the waistline there, I'm going to measure the dart, which is 1.5 inches, and take it to the hip line, divide it on both sides, 0.75, 0.75, and connect it to the waist. The dart that I took on the hip line, which is 1.5 inches, I'm going to return it to the side and connect it to the waistline. After I'm done with that, on the shoulder line, I'm going to measure what I have there, which is 4 inches, and find the midpoint and connect it to the bust point. After I'm done connecting it, on the chest line there, I'm going to come up by 3.5 inches, mark it, and rule out a straight line there. So after rule out a straight line, I'm going to tighten it by 0.25 on both sides. On the shoulder line, I'm going to mark out half inches on both sides. After I'm done with that, I'm going to connect it to the bust point. I'm now use my marker to make it more visible. I'm going to use my hip cuff to connect the points together. Just look at the way I place my hip cuff. After that, on the bust line from the side, I'm going to come now by 2 inches. That is this distance between my shoulder to waist for the front, from shoulder to waist for the back. My front shoulder to waist is 17.5 inches, while the back is 15.5. So if I minus 15.5 inches for 17.5 inches, what remains is 2 inches. That is what I use to take the dart on the side and connect it to the bust point. In my neckline, I need to close my shoulder darts. If you don't do this, you are going to have the problem when you are joining the pieces together, because one side is going to be longer than the other. So to avoid something like that, you need to close the dart that is on the shoulder before you draw in your neckline. To draw in my neckline, I'm going to maintain the chest line for the neck depth. You can decide to come down from the chest line, but for mine, I'm maintaining the chest line for the neck depth. So I'm going to connect it to 3.5 inches that I come off from the chest line. So on the side there, I mark half inches. I return the half inches that I used to tighten the neck line. So I return it to the side to avoid shortage of the measurements. As you guys can see that I did not maintain my arm of cuff because I don't want my sides of my boot to be showing outside. If you don't do it like that, just connect it to the armhole, you will see that a little bit of your side boot is showing outside. To avoid something like that, you need to place your ruler the way you see me connecting it to half inches that I come out from the side. Just do the way you see me doing it. The next thing to do is to close my underarm dart. To do that, I'm going to cut through the shoulder line. Just look at where I'm doing. The first line that first draw that I used to divide my shoulder into 2. So I'm just cut through that. This will enable me to close my side dart. After I'm done closing my side dart, you can see that the side is not equal again. So I'm going to reshape it, connect it to the waistline. So guys, I wanted to snatch my waist. So on this side pattern here, I'm going to find the midpoint, which is 2.5 inches. So after that, I'm going to roll out a straight line there. To snatch your waist, you can do it in 2 different ways. Either you remove whatever you wanted to use to snatch your waist from your actual waist measurement before you marking your waist measurement. If you don't want to do it the way I'm doing, because for the front I want a 3 panel and for the back I want 3 panels. So don't forget that we are working with half pattern. So either you do it like that or you do it the way I'm doing mine. So I'm removed 2 inches for my actual waist measurement. That 2 inches that I remove, I'm going to divide it into 4, which I have 0.5. So that 0.5 I'm going to use it to snatch my waist by divided it into 2 on both sides of the line, which is 0.25 is 0.25. So I'm going to connect it to 2 inches that I come off from the hip line, because I don't want anything to affect my hip measurements. On the waistline from the center front, I'm going to come down by 7 inches. For the side, I come down by 5 inches. So to draw in my hemline, I need to close the dart. So after closing the dart, I'm now using my F cuff to draw in my hemline by connecting the points together. So guys, we have done with our front pattern. Let's move to the back. For the back pattern, from the edge of my pattern, I'm going to come down by 10 inches for the bust line, 15.5 inches for the waistline. After that, I'm going to roll out a vertical line. From the waistline there, I'm going to come down by 9 inches. That is the distance between my waist to the hip line. I also roll out a vertical line. After I'm done roll out a vertical line, I'll label my bust line, waistline, and also the hip line. On the shoulder line there, I'm going to divide my shoulder by 2 inches, which is 7.5 inches, and come down by 1 inch for the shoulder slope. After that, I'm going to mark in my neck width, which is 3.5 inches, and connect it to the shoulder slope. After that, from the 1 inch that I come down from the shoulder line, I'm going to mark in my armhole length, which is 7.5 inches. and rule out a vertical line. Then from there, I'm going to take in my shoulder measurement down to the armhole line and connect it together and find the main points. I'm coming by 0.5 inches. After that, I will come down to the armhole line and take in my bust measurement divided by 4, which is 9 inches, and curve out my armhole curve. After I'm done curving out my armhole curve, on the bust line there, I'm going to come in by 3.5 inches. So I'm using my bust palm 7 inches divided by 2, which is 3.5. So I mark it on bust line, waistline, and also the hip line. For the waist dart, I'm dividing 1.5 inches on both sides, which is 0.75, 0.75. And come down to the hip line, also divide 1.5 inches into 2 on both sides of the line before you connect it together to the waist dart. So after I'm not connecting it together, I will also connecting it to the bust line. The next thing to do now is to take in your waist measurements. My waist divided by 4, which is 8 inches plus 1.5 inches for the dart. I'll also mark it. So after I'm done marking it, I'll go down to the hip line. I also take in my hip measurement. My hip is 42 divided by 4, which is 10.5 plus 1.5 inches that we have for the darts before I connect it together. So guys, after I'm done connecting it together, on this side there, I'm going to find the midpoint, which is 2.5, and rule out a straight line. From there, I'm going to mark in my 0.25 on both sides of the line and come up on the hip line by 2 inches before I connect it to the hip line, like what we did for the front for our waist snatching. For the back opening on the center back, I'm going to come in by 1.5 inches on the bust line, waistline, and also the hip line before I connect it together. This depends on how wide that you wanted your back opening to be. My 1.5 inches is okay. On the center back there from the waistline, I'm going to come in by 7 inches on the side, 5 inches, and close my dart before I connect the point together. This is what I want for the style line on my hemline. You can do whatever you want for yours. For the back neckline, on the armhole line there, I'm going to come down by 0.5 inches before connecting it to the side. So guys, we are also done with our back pattern. So what remains is to cut it out, but before I cut it out, I need to label my pattern. So I'm going to label it. So guys, after I'm done labeling it, I'm going to add the stitches allowance to the side. So guys, because of this particular style, I'm using 1 inches for my side allowance, because you don't really need too much of stitches allowance on the side. You can also use 0.5 inches. After I'm done connecting it together, I will start cutting it out. After I'm done cutting out my front pattern, I will also do the same thing to the back. Add 1 inches for the side allowance. Connect it together before I start cutting out my back pattern. So guys, this is the end of today's tutorial. In my next video, I'm going to show you guys how to join the pieces together, how to cage your bustier. So if you enjoyed my video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and also ring the notification so whenever I posted a new video, you will be notified. See you guys in my next video. Bye.